have been living together for 1.5 years now, and he's moving out next week. We're not breaking up.
Where are your friends? Where's your family? You're breaking up, my love. You guys are definitely breaking up.
A lot of men feel like dating is pointless nowadays. And I get it. It's because effort isn't matched anymore. You plan the date, you initiate, you stay consistent, and you still get treated like an option. That's why men are now looking outside of their usual dating pool. Because they want connection, not confusion.
If a man tells his boys, well, my girl won't let me, everyone understands. But if a woman tells her girls, I can't go out, my man won't let me, everyone gets worried. He's toxic, he's controlling, she gotta get away from him. Why is it okay for her to tell him he can't go out, but it's not okay if he tells her she can't go out? What do you guys think?
Nobody talks about how lonely it is to be the strong one, to be the woman that has everything together, who handles everything, who never asks for help. Because on the outside, she looks fine, but on the inside, she's exhausted from holding it all alone. She's not strong because it comes naturally. She's strong because she never had a safe place to be anything else. And oh, why you say following me yet?
Why are 33% of today's men lonely and sexless as opposed to back during the free love movement?
The porn addiction. Maybe it's because the standards have kind of changed. I know a lot of people look for certain things in men, like they want this height, this face, this style, and so maybe it's become a lot more selective to this group of men who appeal to women, in contrast where it was kind of everybody kind of fit the standard a little more.
A lot of these modern women are asking for a provider man, a traditional man, that sort of type of romance, right? But then you're not really going to love and respect a man like he's asking for. You're not even going to be doing 25% of that.
I have some news that may come as a shock. Men don't care about how smart and successful you are. It's not that men aren't interested in your passions or in what you do for a living. They definitely are. But they're going to notice if your career is your entire focus or identity. And that's not a selling point to a man who's ready to provide and to protect for his family. So if that's the kind of guy you want to attract, you're coming in with you're loaded about being the provider isn't going to attract that kind of man. In fact, if you ask the average man, at least a grown man, to write down what he's looking for in a wife, what she does for a living, or how much money she makes, or how successful she is, will not make the list. He's not looking for the same things you are.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
I honestly don't know how men do it. The list that every woman has for her man is never ending and always changing. And most men will happily navigate that entire list if his balls are empty, his belly's full, and he's feeling pretty good about himself. But there are so many women that I know who want all of the perks and none of the work. But it doesn't work that way. It's a two-way street. Everyone's got to get something out of the deal. And I'm so getting kicked out of the girl gang for this, but ladies, it's not all about us. I wish it were, but it's not.
Modern women have to understand that you can't continue to call a man unnecessary for decades. For decades. And then you come up here complaining that nobody wants to leave. Who gonna be the boys? The boys are not in your face. They handling their business elsewhere.
The problem with women is that we still want men to approach. That's the natural order of things. So we up the natural order of everything else, but we want this specific piece to stay the same. So you want men to approach you, men to compliment you, men to take you out, men to court you, all of this, but you don't want any of the other stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like very selective, and that's a problem. So men sort of, I think of your generation, have changed their gear a bit, but women refuse to approach men. That astounds me. Right. I'm just like, I'm not saying I would have wanted to do it.
Right.
I'm not saying I would have done it, but I lived in a generation where that didn't happen, where men just came up to you, men talked to you. If you want a partner, you want a partner. So I think you're going to have to also get over yourself. And if you see a nice looking man, go up to him.
Chivalry is not y'all it for yourselves though, but it ain't you it like it's on the IV. It needs some shock therapy, something. But y'all doing that. Sir, oh, yes, please open my door. Yes, I love flowers. Yes.
What you wearing on date? Oh, I'm wearing a dress. Oh, yes. We're wearing dresses. We wearing heels. Y'all wearing tennis shoes? Ooh, this a whole nother color. Somebody gonna be mad. Somebody gonna be upset about that. When did dresses go out of style? When went out of style? When did, did he open the door and you, thank you. Y'all be like, you better. I know that's right. What is that? What is that?
These men have decided to opt out of society because they're tired of being blamed for stuff they didn't do. Consequences that they didn't even call. I wasn't even around when that happened. Why am I getting blamed for that? So it's natural for a man to walk away from a situation and distance himself from a situation that he ain't got nothing to do with.
Worst thing a single person can do when they have found peace and comfort within themselves is get back into a relationship. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So let's talk about how women know who they marrying, still marry them, then 5-10 years later or less, we have to hear you crying about who you married, even though, ma'am, did you not know who you married, ma'am? The problem is women get married with the idea that if I change my mind or if I don't like this, I can get a divorce. Women do not marry a man thinking to themselves, I need to really fully accept this man for who he is. And do I think this man can protect, provide, sustain, and be my companion? 95% of the time, you're going to have to acquiesce to him. So women spend so much time dating a man thinking, does he want to marry me? You need to be thinking about, do you really want to marry him? You get so caught up in the season of, oh, I like him, I'm in love with him, I want to marry him. No, ma'am. Are you paying attention to how this man moves? Are you paying attention and playing this out in your minds of, am I going to be able to acquiesce and live in unison and peace with this man until one of us dies?
A lot of guys, you continue to label him a creep. You continue to try to embarrass him for just regular interest in you. A man, it don't matter if the man has a good line, if he has his life together, if she's not attracted to him, then all of a sudden, quite honestly and truly, she starts acting like a loser. She starts acting like a weirdo.
I just don't have the energy for this. I am unsubscribing from.
Then you buy his shampoo and stuff if you're that specific. If you think about it, if he has one bottle to your 20, he takes up less space in the shower. Like if he was the extreme opposite, a lot of women would be upset. Oh, he's acting like a woman. Oh, he's doing this. He's doing that. Why can't men just choose the shampoo or soap that they like and just let them have it? Because men are always in a situation where no matter what they do is considered wrong.
These men are starting to realize, really honestly and truly, they've realized for a long time, but modern women keep on trying to gaslight men to say, well, this is how I live. This is my life. If I'm doing this, then I want a man to do X, Y, and Z. Well, that's your Instagram life. That's your TikTok life. That's the type of stuff that you do online. That's not how you really live. You're really broke. And I'm not going to be funding your lifestyle.
Sometimes a woman doesn't know how to leave.
Why?
Number one is going to be the family.
Okay.
I don't want to break my family unit.
Yeah.
So when you have a child, when you have a family, when you have the Easter celebration, you don't want it because you're looking at it from what is my child's life going to be like now? Now we're splitting the holidays. It's like I don't want to break his life up. Right? Number one. Number two, financially, a woman may not be able to leave. Right? So that's why I have a community that teaches women how to start, structure, fund, market your business, how to go ahead and be able to make some rent. Because what if I can't leave? Where is she going to? Who's going to pay her bills? Especially if he's in control of all the finances. Number three, sometimes we feel like marriage is that final, like we have crossed the finish line. Like we finally got there. Now you want me to start all over again? Get out here in these streets? Again?
Girl.
All of that. So all of that may be like, well, you know what? I might as well just stay here. And they're going to just be existing until they get to that tired point or until he does something that pushes them to then go make a move.
It sounds terrible.
Oh, it is.
These modern women are going to continue the same cycle over and over again. I'm going to go to a singles event. So I'm a swear off man. I'm going to tell them don't approach me. And then I'm going to want to be approached. So I'm going to go to a bar. Tired of getting hit on by Chad and Tyrone and pumped and dumped at the bar. So then I'm going to go to a singles event or a church event thinking that I'm going to meet the cream of the crop. And I'm not going to find nobody because the man ain't there. And then I'm going to get online talking about where the man at. And then I'm going to find a good man. And I'm going to fumble him. And you're going to repeat the cycle.
So, who caught that? Did anyone? Because it's rather apparent that there are some women out there that don't even seem to realize what actually constitutes chivalrous or even gentlemanly behavior for that matter. Because if they did, they would have probably realized that those gentlemen are actually sitting with their backs to the wall and their fronts are facing the door. What's the relevance of that, some of you are asking? Well, that means that those gentlemen would be able to see any possible danger that would be approaching from behind the woman, and they would be able to act upon it should the case arise. So, those gentlemen are doing exactly what they should be doing if we're talking about acting in a gentlemanly manner towards a lady. They're not sitting there for their comfort. They're sitting there because that is the actual gentlemanly thing that they should be doing.
Who changed my life because I had been studying men for about 6 months and unknowingly was using everything I was learning against them. I became better at attacking them and manipulating them because of what I'd learned about them. And Ellen called me at Ending Hunger Orange County, which is the organization I was the head of, and said, Allison, men are attracted to you like bees to honey. And when you're done with them, it's as if they've been with a vampire.
Wow.
I'm like, little old me. And she proceeded to tell me about every time she'd seen me emasculate a man, diminish a man, take the wind out of his sails every time.
What did that look like? Because, and the reason I've got to ask this is I think most women don't even know when they're emasculating a man.
Yeah.
They wouldn't think they're emasculating a man at all.
Can I point out the two tracks where
yes, I'm sorry.
Here?
Yeah, please do.
No, because they go together. So all the things we do to try to get a man to love us, we don't have to. And it even gets in the way because men already love us. We don't have to work to get them to love us. If we stop diminishing them, if we stop disempowering them, if we stop making it harder for them to produce the results that they've got to produce, that's what gets in the way. The love part, they grant that. They are born adoring their mothers, looking into those eyes.
So you have to really look at it from the standpoint, the vantage point of the man on the first date. He's going to drive, he's going to pay, he's going to have to do a reminder. I text you, I'm coming. I text you this, text you that. I'm going to have to pick the restaurant. And really, honestly and truly, these modern women are doing nothing. He's carrying the entire load. And they continue to say, well, I'm doing it because X, Y, and Z. You're going to want a man to continue to do this. Basically, you want a man to continue to carry the load throughout the relationship.
You see how well that changes, and for the simple fact that this poor boy was taught heavily on how to be a gentleman, yet the girls are sitting there walking past him. And then ladies wonder in situations like this, they say, why are men no longer being chivalrous? Why do men no longer open a door for us or being polite anymore? Well, that explains it. You see right then and there that girls are not being taught how to be a lady towards men. Instead, men are being taught how to be a gentleman towards ladies. See, and I really don't understand this. It's ridiculous. That poor boy, I feel really bad for him.
A lot of these modern women don't understand that if I have to go to work and fight battles out there, Why would I want to come home to you, nagging, complaining, and starting arguments with me? That's not going to work. Oh, well, he likes a toxic man or a toxic woman. That might be cute in the beginning because it's like a little flair. But now the joke is over. You need to stop doing that. Quit that.
I'm actually so upset with myself. I want to... I saw the most beautiful man I have ever laid my eyes on at Chipotle. I went in to get my bowl, and he was eating in the restaurant, and I was getting my to-go bowl, and I'm thinking, like, how am I gonna come up to this guy and let him know that I think he's the most beautiful man I've ever seen? He had Tabasco on his table, so I said, I'm just gonna come up to him and I'm gonna say, hey, can I steal your Tabasco? And I did that, and he gave me his Tabasco, and now I'm like over here dabbing Tabasco on my to-go bowl, staring at him, thinking of how I'm gonna come up with something to mention, like, hey, are you maybe single? Like, do you wanna go somewhere sometime with me? What a loser. Whatever. And now I'm in my car. I'm not going back in there. What am I gonna say? My chips were stale. Can I get another bag and then stop by his table? What the hell? Bye.
Entitlement with a lot of these modern women is really loud. You can hear the entitlement from down the street, from a mile away, from 3 miles away. Until the men say, I'm going quietly. In church they do that number. They go ahead and let themselves out until they quietly walk out the room. And then all that talking that you're doing don't really mean nothing. But it would have been your fault because you did all that loud talking and you don't got no substance to you. They ain't got nothing going for you.
If the guy you're seeing says any of these things, you need to run for the hills. You could do better. You're too good for me. I don't deserve you. You deserve someone better than me. You need to literally stop and get out and run. It's a massive red flag. So here's what this actually means. Let me break this down for you. If you're not convinced yet that you need to get the hell out of there, number one, he's already checked out emotionally. He's telling you that he's not going to step up or grow or meet you where he's at. Number two, it's subtle manipulation. It flips the script. Now you feel like you have to be like, no. You are good enough for me. You are enough. Which keeps you stuck. Like you're constantly chasing validation instead of receiving what you actually deserve. Insecurity like this breeds bigger problems. Hyper emotional reactions such as jealousy, self-sabotage, pulling away when things get good, or even cheating to prove he's unworthy. Trust me, it doesn't get better on its own. A secure, high-value man doesn't say this. He shows up consistently, owns his growth, and makes you feel chosen, not like you're doing him a favor by staying. So ladies, when a man says you deserve better, believe him. Believe him. He's right. He's right. He's not your man. Don't try to fix him. Don't convince him he's worthy. Protect your energy. Walk toward the one who knows he deserves you and acts like it.
When it comes to men, I want a turnkey. Like, I don't want to fix and flip. I want him ready. No updates necessary. I want a turnkey man.
Men do not ignore women that they like. Stop being temporary entertainment for these guys. If they're ignoring you, it's either they don't like you or they're just playing games. Stop letting them do that.
One of the most frustrating things about trying to date in Chicago is you go on the apps, you swipe, you say no, because no. And then you go outside and you walk down Wells and you're like, oh my God, there's so many cuties, but like, where are you? Where are you?
Wait for it.
I'm disrespecting my husband because I'm friends with a man.
But I think it's not that you're friends with a man. The point is you're not listening to him. Like, again, love to men is respect. It's saying, you know what, I might not agree with this, but I respect your judgment, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to do what you say. But like, men don't want an argumentative woman.
Is chivalry outdated or still sexy? Still sexy to every woman. I mean, even the most feminist of feminist town, they want a man who is chivalrous and who will want to, you know, who likes paying for dinners and leading and opening doors. They still want that.
Stay-at-home moms don't leave good men. Stay-at-home mothers who value being home with their babies and not in the workforce don't just decide to end their marriages and go out and get a job and risk poverty and putting those kids in childcare because their husbands are amazing. They do it because something in that home makes leaving seem appealable.
Unpopular opinion. Some of y'all got a good man, know he a good man, but act like you need a good man. But whenever you push that good man away and then another woman gets that good man, you'll be sitting there looking confused and be saying how he ain't shit. But you know he a good man. Why not just treat him like he a good man right now so that you can keep your man and your relationship and your sanity? Because from what I understand about re-entering into this dating world, you don't want to do it. So if you have a good man, treat him like he's a good man, especially when you know it.
So I'm out having dinner with my girl, and I want y'all to just notice something. There's women, all eating there. Women, all eating there. Women. And let's not forget right there too, because they're everywhere. Oh my God. I don't normally go out, but when I do, I go out with my girls, and I am seeing something, a trend. Girls are all going out with their girlfriends. There's not like one date.
Like, no, I tell all my clients that the general population is a little slow. It's a lot of people that miss their opportunity to get the check. So now we out here dealing with people that haven't been diagnosed with being off. Okay? IEP adults, okay? You over here just really thinking that because this man is making a good amount every hour, that he's really something special. Baby, the man's on the spectrum. He doesn't even know how to sit there and properly wipe himself. You feel me? We really are having issues with people out here because they really wasn't diagnosed. The general population nowadays is slow. It's not just the youth. We have a lot of millennials, old heads, that baby, they miss their opportunity on the check.
A man with a strong masculine energy values respect from his wife, who is in her feminine energy. This means refraining from criticizing his opinions, arguing with his ideas, correcting, belittling him, or trying to control intimacy. As a feminine, sensual woman, you don't need to compete intellectually with your husband. Instead, you allow him to take the lead in conversation. Women who struggle to feel smaller next to their man often fear vulnerability and intimacy. They feel the need to be equal to or even superior to their partner. But this mindset will not lead to the connection and results that they desire.
You're not fit to be a wife, period.
So you're telling me that a woman has to go work like a man every day, and a man goes work and he's tired when he gets home. A woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding me?
I have a better question. Why don't you want to do that?
What are you talking about? Why don't I? Have you done that?
First of all,
I do it every day.
First of all, yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. It's a sign of low intelligence. You can lower your voice and speak to me. I'm sitting right here. I can hear you. Men have different responsibilities. So all this, I cook and I clean, and that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
when your car need an oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility.
I just saw a video of this man saying, he's like, am I the only guy that will never approach a woman, like no matter how beautiful she is, no matter, and whatever, I'll never approach a woman. And he's saying that if a woman really wants you, she'll come up to you. Jesus Christ, I come to you now. I come to you now, Lord, as humbly as I know how, to ask you to please send the flood, oh God. Send the flood now. Send the flood now. It just feels like every time I get on this app and I let myself watch a video where a man is going to be opening his mouth, I end up upset. And it's nobody's fault but mine. It's my fault because I should have watched the video. I knew when the video started, I said, I'm not going to like what he's about to say. I knew it. And I still sat there and I watched it.
What's up, my guys? Have you been trying to win a girl over and it just doesn't seem to be going anywhere? We all know that some girls can be hard to read. So I'm going to help you see the signs a little bit more clearly and help you decide if it's time to stop pursuing her. Let's get into it. Are you feeling confused? Yes, it's probably time to move on. When someone wants to be with you, they'll make it clear. And if you're making it clear on your end, it should be reciprocated. She introduces you as a friend with literally no hesitation. She never has time or just constantly keeps flaking on plans. Listen, if somebody cancels plans, they need to reschedule. It's not your problem. Is she not replying to you? It's not as deep as you think it is. She just doesn't want to engage in conversation. Stop lessening your self-worth by begging for a response. Move on. She doesn't know what she wants. Well, let her go figure it out. Since when were you a certified therapist? Do you feel like every conversation nowadays with your close friends is literally just you seeking advice? She's taking control of your life. She hasn't pursued you at all. If it's one-sided, there's your answer. This situationship is not serving you.
We really need to the narrative. I'm so tired of it, honestly. All men are the same. There are no good men out there. I'm so sick of hearing it. It's plenty of good men, plenty. But unfortunately, sis, you haven't had a chance to experience one yet because you're too broken. Yes, you are too broken. Or maybe you don't know your self-worth and your self-love is at an all-time low and you don't know how to choose. You out here choosing anybody that's choosing you. Yes. There's plenty of good men, but you have to heal first. You have to forgive the men that hurt you. You have to forgive yourself for allowing it to happen. And once that process starts, self-love, self-worth at an all-time high. Yes. Now you know how to choose. Yes. Now you can operate with a clean heart instead of a broken heart. Because a lot of us that think that way are broken. There are plenty of good men. And no, they're not standing at the corner. No, you can't catch them in the bar every night getting drunk. Stop looking there. Stop. Plenty of good men. But you have to fix you. You have to heal. You have to want to heal. The narrative. There's plenty of good men.
Guy forgot that he had approached me before. I came up to me and he was like, "Hey, you're cute. What's your number?" Lo and behold, he had actually asked for my number before. Do you know how many times this guy had to have gotten rejected for him to run into the same woman in the same city, 3 miles away from where we originally ran into each other? Man is taking shots every day, probably like 5 times a day, just approaching random women, letting his presence be known to these women. Everybody had my number. He got my number again and texted me. Point is, you should not be afraid of rejection. It's okay. People will make fun of you. People will be mean to you. And guess what? They're actually the losers. Quite honestly, when people make fun of you, you should know you're winning. They're so insecure that they're making fun of you because they are afraid to take shots. If you approach a woman and she rejects you and she's really rude about it, just know she's the loser. Seriously, if a guy approaches me, I see it as a business connection. If he's not rude, it's a business connection. Not be afraid to approach women. If she's not interested, it's her loss. You just walk away and let her be because it's her loss. Meeting new people is fun. You just leave her alone. Do not be afraid. It is okay. Embrace rejection because it means that you're going to get closer to your goal, what you actually want in life. So you got to take shots. Guys, I'm coming out with a course. DM me course if you're interested. For my guys who are serious about having a change, want to get the type of woman that they have always wanted in their life, who know that they can have it. They just have the right mentality. DM me and I'll help you get there. Don't go out. I just put you on game.
These are the things I wish I would have known. My channel is not to make women bad or wrong. It's to expose the challenges and limitations that we have in our wiring. And that as humans, we all have shortcomings. We all have flaws. And one of our shortcomings and flaws as women on the spectrum is that we have a selfishness.
We have a need to be right. We have a need to be in control. And we can easily gain control and shape and manipulate a good man and strip him of who he is as a man because of our selfishness and only being able to think of ourselves. And what most importantly I talk on the channel is our unhappiness in ourselves as women, meaning we never learn to have a healthy relationship with ourselves, to be fulfilled from the inside out and not looking for something to make us happy in life, that is our responsibility. And it's imperative for us as women in a relationship or a marriage with a good man that we learn to be happy within ourselves, or we will crush and destroy a good man because we inevitably end up blaming them and making them the problem for why we are so unhappy in ourselves.
I was a good woman and a terrible wife at the same time. Nobody told me that being a good woman wasn't enough for marriage. And I love my husband with everything that I had, but it still was not working. I had the heart, I had the intention, but what I did not have was the understanding of what it actually meant to be a good wife, not just a good woman. Proverbs 14:1 says, a wise woman builds her home, but a foolish one tears it down with her own hands. I wasn't tearing my house down on purpose. I just didn't know how to build it right. So I just want to share with you guys 3 things that I used to struggle with as a wife versus what I do now. Number 1, I used to speak my mind. Okay. Now I speak with purpose because not every single thought that I have needs to leave my mouth, especially to my husband. 2, I used to keep score. I was a scorekeeper. Go, look, with no shame. But now I keep covenant because marriage is not a competition. You know, we're working together and it's a commitment. So I'm committed to making this work. I used to wait to feel like a good wife. Like once my husband did whatever or acted a certain way to make me be this woman that I've always wanted to be, this wife I've always wanted to be, then I would be her. No. Now I choose to be one. I choose to be one because love is an action. It is not just an emotion. You know, I had to stop trying to be a good woman in my marriage and start becoming a good wife to my husband. Being a good woman, that's a gift. Being a good wife, that's practice. That is a decision that you make every single day. And if you're watching this and you feel the way that I used to feel once upon a time, you are not failing. I say it all the time, wifehood is a calling, and we know that anything that the Lord calls us to, the enemy tries to destroy. But if you follow me, you should have enough conviction to know something needs to change. So go be her. Bye for now.
I'm literally shaking right now because I just had a man approach me in a parking lot and it went fine. And I'm going to tell you why it went fine and how to address it, because it was in a book I read and this is how you're supposed to address it, but it scared me. I'm literally shaking. So this guy, I am alone with my son, by myself, a woman, and a male approached me in a parking lot. He's, "Excuse me, miss," and I don't know why in the hell he was approaching me or what he was trying to do. And before he was probably 30 feet from me when he said, "Excuse me, ma'am." And I turned around and I literally yelled at him and I said, "Do not approach me." And he immediately started going in the other direction. And I just kept saying it over and over and over. I said, "Do not approach me. Do not approach me." And he, of course, got what the F did it? He started cussing and yelling, what's your problem? And I looked at him and he actually then crossed a couple cars down from my car and he didn't come anywhere near me. He crossed a couple cars down from my car and was continuing to cuss and say, "What's your problem?" And I said, "You do not approach women in a parking lot." I just kept saying, "Do not approach me. You do not approach women in a parking lot," yelling it. No male should ever approach a woman in a parking lot. Ever. No male should ever approach a woman in a parking lot. And if a male does approach you, you need to turn around and use the strongest voice that you can possibly use with them. Don't be polite. They need to literally screw off. No male should be approaching you in a parking lot.
Hi. So after making a video saying that I'm here for the girls, I do have a question for the guys. If you have a few encounters with someone and you're interested, maybe, but maybe not. Do you always shoot your shot with a girl if she is chatting with you, smiling at you, continuing to talk to you, or do you not? Grant, they're single or they seem to be single, because I've had a few videos where men are like, I don't talk to women, like I'm not going to get shut down. And I've seen videos over and over again, and I've seen women complain about men not talking to women. And so I have shot my shot a few times, and one time was a great date. One time they told me that they had just gotten in a relationship. One time they told me they just got out of a relationship. So, you know, I'm 1 for 3, but that one was actually lived in another state. However, I'm just wondering, like, do men do that anymore? Would you do that? Can I make the assumption that they're not interested if they're not shooting their shot? Or can I make the assumption that they're too scared to do so, so I have to do it? Just want to know what your thoughts are. Okay.
I think for modern women, they don't realize that, you know, the moment a man stops trying after years of being unappreciated, you know, that'll be your fault. That's something that you did. Because that man, some of these men be trying for literal years. I think there was one man, he had been trying to hit this woman up for like 5 years, I think I want to say, something like that. And she was like, oh yeah, I really didn't like him, and I finally did X, Y, and Z. I was like, dang. It took you 5 years to realize, hey, maybe I do want him, and y'all are mature? Interesting.